Hello everybody and welcome to the Homesteads YouTube channel. Today I wanted to show you our seedlings that we got started and do a little preview of the new lights that we picked up this year. So we picked up 3 LED lights off of Amazon. I thought they were a great price and a great buy to replace our old tube lights. They're supposed to use 50% less hydro, so that's good news for us. Cost efficient way to get our seeds started. All the things that we need to get going before our last frost date, before we can plant these things outside. So I'll just show you the tag here. There it is. So if you're interested in getting these lights, if I convince you that they're worth the money, there's the information you need. But so far, I've actually been really impressed. I guess it wouldn't take a lot to impress me after using tube lights for a couple of years with lights probably past their prime. But these are full spectrum lights and they're doing a great job. You can see in here, if I zoom in a little closer, that there's a lot of really nice dark growth, and that the underneaths of the leaves are purple. So that's indicative of great lighting. And yeah, so far so good. I'm really impressed. So I'll just run through quickly what we have planted. You can see here on my list, I think, maybe, yep, there. I started these seedlings on March 18th, and I put a little X for each row that I plant them in. I'm using the pucks again this year. I really like them. They're really convenient. They're really quick, and easy to transfer into the garden. I usually have to go through a couple steps with these and take them apart, and as they get bigger, which they're definitely at that stage now that they can be transplanted. A couple days ago I worked on the tomatoes here. So you can see this is the way it's recommended to have your lighting with the seedlings. You want it just above where the plant's growth is at, and that helps to reduce the plant's likelihood of getting too leggy and just flopping over on you and just dying or not producing much at all. I also have this little fan here blowing on them at medium setting. That's also going to stunt their growth a little bit, as they're going to have to focus on toughening up their stalks so that they don't get knocked over. And it will save you some headaches out in the garden too, as they will be a little stronger, stand up a little straighter. Tomatoes I'm not too worried about because I put them in cages. But anyways, you can see I have a ton of tomatoes here. Each one of these trays has 72 pucks. So I currently have 72 tomato plants, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with 72 tomato plants. Gonna have to donate a few to some friends, I think, but nothing wrong with that. Anyways, I bought 3 of the lights. So the tomatoes are using up 2 of the lights now, and I want to divvy up the rest of these and put them in some cups. I drill some holes in the bottom, and these trays that they sit in can hold the water, and it can just water from the bottom up instead of me disturbing the roots. Another quick, easy tip thing to do: power drill and drill through 10 cups at a time. Kind of top them up with soil, as we've done with these tomatoes, you can see. And you know, you can add some more soil with the tomatoes, at least, as it's not going to do any harm to the plant. But in the front here, we have some broccoli and cauliflower. They're recommended 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost. That's what I did last year, and with the weaker lights, I didn't get quite the production I wanted out of them. They still did pretty well, but I thought I would start them a little earlier this year. And too early isn't great either, but it's all trial and error here. And so anyways, this year I did a full 8 weeks. So our last frost date here in Ontario, at least my part of Ontario, in Zone 5B, is the general rule is May 2-4 weekend or just after May 20th. So, you know, it's April, mid-April. I still have about a month till I can plant outside, but I think we're going to do just fine this year. So yeah, the broccoli and cauliflower are here, half a tray each. And then back here you can see some eggplants on the right, some Brussels sprouts and some cabbage. And then I have a few varieties of peppers over here. Over in this section we have a few herbs that we just wanted to get started, and putting some pots in the windows inside in the kitchen so they're accessible, and our larger quantities of herbs are still growing outside, so we harvest those every year. You can see some offcuts, table scraps of lettuce here, and some celery over there, which always seem to grow for us. And then here is actually an apple. So it was a Fuji apple. I did some research, and generally in Ontario, they're cross-pollinated with crab apple trees. So this could either wind up being Fuji apple trees or crab apple trees. It's a long-term experiment. We'll see what happens. But nothing wrong with a couple of crab apple trees around to feed the wildlife and make some jelly with if we're into it and we have the time. But yeah, that's kind of our setup. Again, I'm really impressed with these lights. I've got some work ahead of me here to kind of divide all this stuff up, and I've been kind of lazy, but we're getting there. And yeah, just wanted to preview setup for the season. I know it's been a while since I've put out a video, but I have a ton of content planned for this year. We have some new, more difficult varieties of food to grow coming in this year. I got some pawpaw trees and persimmons, and then we're expanding on the nuts. Last year we did some hazelnuts, but we've got some pecans and chestnuts going in this year, and lots of stuff, lots of good stuff coming up this year, lots of plans. I'm super excited. It's too bad that we still have this snow out here, but it is disappearing rapidly, and we are way ahead of schedule for our norm in Ontario at least. But yeah, I'm super excited. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm really looking forward to punching out a bunch of good, informative videos this year. Tell you all the benefits of the different things we're planting and the special care requirements that they have. But as you know, we're big on the vegetables too. So if you haven't started, it's not too late. If you're down south of where we are, you have an extended grow season, but I would definitely recommend getting your stuff started like as soon as possible. And you'll probably get a few more weeks on the end, or a month maybe, of growing season. So you still have some time and some longer production period, but I would definitely get going if you're interested in having some bountiful harvests of these types of vegetables that need a little extra help. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Always give my video a thumbs up. I appreciate that. You guys have definitely been subscribing in larger numbers, and that's great. It really motivates me to put some more stuff out. And as always, your recommendations and thoughtful advice, your input is always appreciated. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll be seeing you again soon. Happy spring 2019, everybody.